At least 75 to 100 vehicles were involved in a massive Pileup crash Thursday morning on Interstate 35W in Fort Worth, including several 18-wheelers, officials said. At least 5 people have been confirmed dead. The total number of injuries remains unknown, Fort Worth police said. The crash happened around 6 a.m. as drivers were dealing with pockets of inclement weather across North Texas, including freezing rain. A number of people remained trapped hours after the crash happened, and patients were still emerging from vehicles at the crash scene. As of 8:30 a.m., officials said, with an estimated 36 people needing medical transport. Several people were in critical condition. Information and estimates were rapidly changing as crews worked their way through the scene, and the number of patients is growing by the minute, officials said. Around 8:30 a.m. fire department officials said during a news conference that they were going vehicle by vehicle to check for anyone still trapped, but had done the first pass and have extricated everyone they could see and or get to so far. First responders said there are still some cars wedged underneath other vehicles, causing some of the uncertainty around how many casualties there are. There were a number of vehicles, however, that was heavily damaged, and they have not yet cleared all vehicles. To do so will take time, officials said, as they need wreckers to remove the layers of damage and debris to get to each vehicle. They believe there could still be victims trapped, and hypothermia, as well as trauma, remains a concern as first responders work to reach them. A MedStar unit was one of the vehicles involved in the crash, according to officials, but the first responders and other drivers involved were not injured. First responder teams sent 14 ambulances and an ambulance bus to the scene to provide on-site care. The crash has been declared a mass casualty event. Officials said they were using the bus to keep victims from developing hypothermia as well. Even walking at the scene was treacherous due to icy conditions, Matt Zavadsky from MedStar said during the news conference. He added that the number of victims they've been able to extricate from the crash scene so far has been amazing. MedStar told WFAA earlier Wednesday that they had a number of patients they could not move from the scene initially as an 18-wheeler had partially blocked the road and traffic has them blocked in from behind the crash. First responders also had difficulty even getting to the crash site due to the slippery conditions of the roadway, as well as due to the traffic build-up. The accident scene stretched around 1 to 1.5 miles long, with Fort Worth police reporting the scene at 1601 North Freeway and MedStar reporting it at the conjunction of I-35W and 28th Street. Families are being reunited at Riverside Center at 3700 E. Belknap Street in Fort Worth, police officials said. Family members will be able to pick up their loved ones that were involved in the Pileup there. Fort Worth officer Daniel Seguras said investigators were on scene, but, given the massive scope of the scene, it would take a long time for a full report as they determine what potentially caused the crash and what happened. For many of us this is a career event, Zavadsky said. We train for this type of scenario, but you never really expect it to happen. Fort Worth Fire Department engineer Mike Drivdahl echoed that sentiment as he spoke of the first responders who were working the scene. An event like this is not something many of them will see again, he explained. All lanes have been blocked, and the scene is not expected to be cleared before the end of the day. To avoid the crash and major traffic backups behind it, drivers east of I-35W can take Sylvania, Beach Street, or Riverside. For drivers west of I-35, Business 287 could be an option. Officials warned drivers to slow down, keep their distance and wear their seatbelts, especially as inclement weather is expected to continue throughout the weekend. If you are new to this channel, then please hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification